Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I just wanted to make a little video about my favorite champion in League of Legends, and that would be Rammus. The gameplay that you're seeing here is my second game back to playing League of Legends in over a month, so I'm a little bit rusty. Not going to be the best gameplay, but I do ultimately do my job excellently and win for the team. This is going to be sort of a lazy man's guide for Rammus. I almost titled this Why He's Such a Great Champion for Beginners, because I truly do believe that Rammus is an amazing champion for beginning players. Right now I'm chasing down this Yasao because he's low on health. I'm going to be able to finish him. I'm going to flash into the curl ball, smack him, melee him once, twice, and he is gone. Not going to go in for that second fight. So the big thing about Rammus is that he is the tankiest tank in the entire game. Your damage output is not very high as Rammus, however, it's extremely difficult to kill you. Not only do you naturally have a lot of armor and magic resistance, but you have an ability, your W ability, that gives you bonus armor and magic resistance for up to 6 seconds. On top of this, anytime somebody hits you while you're in that state, they deal damage themselves. You can see I've got the little shield on me there. So every time Yasao hits me, he hurts himself, and he really doesn't hurt me hardly any. That is one of his bread and butter moves. The other move that really makes Rammus Rammus is his ability to taunt. Taunt is something a little bit unusual in League of Legends. It's a type of disable or stun. It's not as long as like a knock-up or a proper stun or something like that, or a slow. It actually forces the enemy to turn around and auto-attack you. Now, for ranged enemies, they're usually just going to stand there and auto-attack you, but for melee enemies, you can actually taunt the enemy and then walk away, and in order to auto-attack you, they're going to have to follow you. See, right there, I just taunted him for a couple of seconds, going to let Thresh hook him, and he's pretty much done. He's just not going to be able to compete against that. It's pretty useful. It synergizes excellently with your shield that bounces back damage every time they hit you. It just forces them to do more damage to you. It's a very good disable. It allows you to get a lot of assist. You do have a neat little move on your Q. It's called Powerball. You've probably seen me already moving it. You roll all over the map, and whenever you hit somebody, you deal magic damage, knock them back, slow them, and it scales off ability power. So if you just want to go crazy and build a pure AP Rammus, you can be a little powerballing nuke. It is a sort of balance to Rammus that helps him actually gank, because if you haven't noticed, he's a very slow champion. He plods all over the map, even when you get boots, because on this champion, Ninja Tabby is probably going to be the way to go, and I'll explain why in just a second. He's still very slow. He's just not swift. So allowing you to have a burst of speed with your curl ball not only allows you to engage, but in situations like this, I've already used it once, I'm waiting for it to cool down, it's going to keep me out of trouble, because Vi would be able to dash to me and catch up and get me, but I think I'm just going to curl ball on out of here. In curl ball, Rammus is actually one of the faster champions in the game. He's right up there with Master Yi and Teemo and all that for those 6 seconds. His passive is actually a very straightforward kind of simple effect. You get bonus attack damage based on how much total armor you have. The idea is that you're an armadillo, you are a tank. The tankier you build, the more armor you stack, the more your basic damage output is. It's 25% of armor gets converted into damage, which is very, very useful. That means that buying something like Ninja Tabby not only gives you armor, which you need, and it gives you the percentage reduction on basic attacks, but it also means that you deal more damage. So Rammus works really, really well against AD teams or physical damage teams, and especially since all of his moves synergize super, super well with the Thornmail, he's especially useful against auto-attack heavy teams, because you'll get Ninja Tabby, Thornmail, and you have your shield. You get reduced damage on auto-attacks. Auto-attacks bounce back and deal damage to them, and as much armor as you have, they're going to hurt themselves more than they'll hurt you. And then on top of that, your shield shields you for even more and bounces back damage once again. So for champions like Yasao, there's not much he can do, but he's also facing up against me and Malphite. Really couldn't ask for much of a worse matchup there. His ultimate is, I honestly don't like the ultimate very much. I don't find it to be as effective as many other ones. It's called Tremors. What it does is you get these sort of, well, in his basic skin you get tremors that follow you around. This one's Chrome Rammus, so you get the razor blades that you see there. And it's just a damage over time kind of area of effect thing. The longer they stand in your razor blades or tremors, the more damage that they do, etc., etc. And I thought I could take that dragon, but I forgot the dragon got buffed, so he was smacking meat around. Not the most useful, but as long as you're going to stay in a fight, as long as you're going to take focus and keep people near to you, it can deal damage. What I find to be the better utility for it is that unlike most moves in the game, or special abilities or spells or whatever, this one actually damages towers too. So when I want to take a tower quickly, when I'm worried that, you know, they're going to respawn and come gank me under the tower, or there's a big fight, I can just pop that and I'll damage towers, inhibitor, base nexus, every single thing that I can possibly damage, and it works really, really well. Rammus, like I said before, is really strong against auto-attack heavy champions. He's really strong against an AD team because it's very difficult to even hurt him. And with your disables, you can do your trimmers, your taunt, your knock-up, your everything, and it makes it really hard for them to deal with you. However, Rammus is more weak to AP champion teams, or AP heavy teams. Of course, you can build him with lots of magic resist, but it doesn't synergize very well with his moves. He's not as strong against caster types, and he's a little bit less strong against people that have sort of spell shields, disables, cleanses, all that sort of stuff. Anybody that can make your taunt useless is going to make you useless, because as Rammus, if you haven't seen, you're not going to have very many high kill games. Rammus is not the hyper carry champion. He's not the early game all-in champion. Rammus is the late game unkillable tank. If you can make it past 25-30 minutes, you are going to be extremely difficult to kill, you're going to scale extremely well, and you're going to allow your team to just murder people while you sponge up damage, and it works very, very well. However, you yourself are not going to be dealing that much damage, and you are not going to be getting that many kills as Rammus, so you are somewhat more team dependent. A fed Rammus can be pretty funny though, because you can get impossibly tanky. That's sort of a beginner's guide to Rammus, why I like him, why I think he's fun, and why I think you should give the little turtle a try. He might not be the best champion in the game, but he's simple to use, fun to use, and I do get a kick out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.